Good evening, Mayor, City Council, and citizens of Vallejo. I was going to start on one tack, but with the cancellation of the rent control thing, I was going to take a different tack. I was going to make it a lot more stiff and make it a lot less. I want to talk about the reasons why we have a Democrat government in America by illustrating with history what has changed to lead us to where we are today. Where we are today is a massive perversion of our founding principles. I'm tired of we had no income tax in 1912, and we were far happier, healthier, and had more freedom. We didn't have mass shootings like we do now. Our crime rate was far lower. We didn't have 110 million Americans with an STD like we do today. We weren't paying $700 billion a year for drug, tobacco, and alcohol issues. Drugs weren't all over the place. Marriages were stable. The illegitimacy rate was a fraction of what it is today. No one had a television. Pornography was illegal. Americans knew history and were wise, unlike the dumbest generation in American history, the millennials of today. Americans read a lot. They weren't on the internet getting brainwashed by Google, Facebook, and Twitter echo chambers. In 1919, we actually had a Tommy gun that sprayed 1,500 rounds a minute, and we still didn't have mass shootings. That's because they didn't have the three factors that are common to every single mass shooting we've had since Columbine: pornography, psychotropic drugs, and Islam. A rogue SCOTUS legalized porn in 1969. Drugs are all over the place, and California voters just blindly voted to legalize pot. People who aren't wise and virtuous are doomed to support communist principles. The best revolutionary is a youth devoid of morals, said Lenin, and that's so very true. With 80% of 11-year-olds looking at porn and the legalization of marijuana leading to higher rates of use among kids, we are going to be a Marxist nation very shortly if we don't reverse course very fast. Within 6 months, we will have another mass shooting, and again, the hysterical Democrats will be shrieking about guns. Yet the three factors which are always present in every mass shooting, the aforementioned porn, Islam, and psychotropic drugs, are supported by every single Democrat. So they keep feeding us poison and then try to disarm us when we show the results of being poisoned. It is easier to enslave a disarmed population. Hitler, Mao, and Stalin all prove that. I'll be working to legalize machine guns and bazookas, as our Second Amendment was not for hunting Bambi. It was to protect ourselves from a rogue government, which the Democrat Party is increasingly coming to resemble. I just joined the NRA and will be buying an AR-15, and I'm a former conscientious objector. These rent control measures are unnecessary. I'm shifting gears here. It's not the government's job to regulate the private sector or to do welfare to help the poor. That is the job of the churches and the wealthy. Many of the churches and wealthy in California support the Democrat Party and use it as a weapon and a cudgel to enslave us with, instead of doing their job and helping the poor with their own money and time. Less regulations and taxes lead to a better economy, and the poor are able to lift themselves out of poverty. As it stands, and I totally agree with the speakers who talked about lowering the regulations, it's nearly impossible to start a company here and paying...
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, next item on the agenda, please. Vice Mayor. Down. Down. There you go.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to offer that we approve the consent calendar and approval of agenda, and I believe that we want to continue item 8C. I'm sorry, that is the consent calendar. Where is it? Introduction of an ordinance amending the mobile home parks rent control ordinance. We want to continue to March 27th.
Correct. Okay. Did we all get that? Okay. Would you vote, please?
Motion carries unanimously with Council Members Ducosta and Sunga absent.
Okay, thank you. And again, if there's anybody in the audience that was here for the rent control for the mobile homes, that item has been continued until March 27th, which is a regularly scheduled council meeting. Okay, moving on. Item 8A, Madam Clerk.